Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. Yeah, we have kind of an emergency update. There's a lot ready to happen beginning tomorrow, and of course a lot has happened already, but we do want to give an update about what's happening, and please put aside what is negative or positive. This is information. Information is powerful. Don't put things in a category. We need to get the information out for people. So without further delay, I'm going to bring up Peter the Insider.
I want to say hello to you and to all of our listeners. The fact is, we are living in a very complicated time. Fact is that the COVID-21, it's technically, it is title of movie, Lethal Virus. It's the, how we can call it, like enhanced or more advanced version of COVID-19, in order not to get into problems. COVID, yeah. And this stuff actually appeared. It is not that new because it appeared in September 2020 in first time in Great Britain, in UK. Fact is, they don't want to talk about that. They didn't talk about that for like 4 months, September, October, November, December, like that, right? And fact this is that it spread goddamn fast. First, people believed that it was only in Europe. Nope, it is not true. Once people realized that it is in Europe and in the whole Europe, no, it wasn't true. It started to spread goddamn fast all over the world, and it was already all over the world. And there was this problem, let's say, okay, what the heck is going on? Our vaccines, I mean, all of those companies, you know, they developed vaccines. They were like, what are our what is our stuff for? Like, it is not designed for. And it is literally like that. Literally like that. In other words, COVID-21, that means once you are infected with this, all the vaccines will spread the COVID-21 faster. It will make, once you are infected, it will make your health state only worse. And once, let's say it that way, your DNA lineage, or how we can call it, DNA profile, matches the whole, let's say, branch of COVID, the problem is it will make you die faster, like it or not, because It is true, because technically there are two ways how to say the truth. Once, of course, once if truth is negative, right? Or it is how we can call it, pessimistic. It is, can we call it like that? Pessimistic. What do you think?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the stuff. Say and look and you know, say up to people. Nah, look, people, everything is fine. It will be not a big deal. What we don't want to do, or say, hey people, this is the truth. The future will be not, will be bad, will be not okay once you will not open your eyes and wake up to the reality. Reality means that there is this positive egregora right now. That means, you know, the people's conscious and subconscious, like consciouses, if you want to call it that way, uh, focusing of getting those crazy uh, attacks, like draw them back. That's the stuff. What happened, respectively, of course, because this is very legit question from people all around the world. Okay, and what is COVID-21 deal? The deal is it's brand new, fresh new COVID mutation. What if you want, if we want to call in IT language, COVID 19 as COVID 1.0, COVID 21 is, let's say, COVID 2.0. So it is much, and I mean much more enhanced, right? What is the deal here? That means, where is the problem, right? Fact is that people are not ready yet to accept, and this we are calling it this challenge. And what is the challenge? What is this? What I'm calling challenge? Challenge is complete rebuilding of immune system of the whole mankind, because literally we've got some sort of, let's say, predispositions as a people, as a you know, as race, right? And once we want to be successful, our, let's say, or be more precise, our physical bodies be successful in fight, because this is like a war. It's war. Once we, as I mean, our physical bodies want to be successful, we need completely to rebuild our part, I mean, the part of DNA system or DNA strings. They are defining our immune system. And it's like, okay, and why? Because this is once again legit question. Why, you insider? You know, once I will be on your side, people, it will be a legit question. Like, okay, insider, and why you are saying this only right now? The answer to this question is very easy. Because they are mixing together COVID 19 then 21, and then all of those, I don't know, how should we call them? Mutations or something like that.
Hmm.
And this is problem. This is like, we need the help a big time. And those, all of those problems, uh, try to guess what? Try to guess what? Everything like spreading those mutations, even those viruses, then mutations, their and other mutations. It's for, let's say, spreading problems, and because it's very easy, they, all of them, the elites ones, if you maybe don't know what I'm talking about, the elites, they created some sort of, doesn't matter if diseases or conflict or local or something like that, no, it doesn't matter, absolutely. So they created mess, chaos, mayhem, and then like a saviors, hello, we are here to help, yeah, literally like that, make it very theater, like, hey, we are the saviors of the world. They go to this particular region of the world, no, not this time, because this is whole world, this is worldwide, and they're like, hey, we are here to help, and they are profiting like multiple ways. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's crazy. And there is no currency. They don't need currency, like money wise, if you want to call it that way, because they are that goddamn powerful. Sorry, the elites, and especially elites via those crazy big corporations and crazy powerful corporations. For them, there is currency of, let's say, a higher value. It's like higher value add stuff. And many people, there will be like question, okay, what is this currency? Power, gaining power, and getting information, gaining technology. That's the stuff. That's their currency.
But also, their currency is having power over all the people through
This is
AI.
it. This is it. As I said, this is it. As I
Yeah.
said, power. Yeah. But yeah, technically, I need to correct. Yes, because I said, power, but you said control. Yeah. But it is some sort of, I don't know. It's some sort of mental diagnosis, or I don't know how can I call it. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, we're still struggling over, the 19 version, and now we're coming up to 21, and you had informed me that 21 is even more AI. So it's
AI, sorry for interrupting you. AI focused, let's say, yeah,
yeah,
AI
yeah.
focused,
So
but it
this is
still
the
have
nano
its,
femtotech, right?
yes, but it
Yes.
still have, despite more AI focused, but it still have biochemical particles inside it. Still, yeah.
Right, which is other type of deadly or debilitating illnesses and diseases, right?
Yeah.
Which then will break down the immune system. So everyone has to keep their. I mean, it's one thing we bring in information, but let's find a few solutions if we can, Peter, to help people out. Keeping themselves in a positive state of mind and protection, and also boosting their immune system as much as possible.
Yeah, many people were like, okay, what the heck should I do? So technically, there are two ways: vitamins, and most of them are like, okay, why not? So C and D vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, C
Yeah.
and D
Vitamin
vitamins.
C, vitamin D.
Yeah,
Yep.
vitamin C and vitamin, all kind of vitamins, especially, how can I say, like natural wise, so fruits and vegetables, okay, it's fine. But the situation is that bad, it is not enough. You will be technically, you will need to eat only fruits and the vegetables, and it is not enough. I mean, how can I say it, for reaching daily doses, especially vitamins, vitamin C and D. And you need to, I mean, many people will hate me for that, but you need to eat them via pills, but no, not from drugstore. But if you have any sort of let's say it, people, they can make it as a, how can I say that, those medicines, do you know what I mean, like
Yeah, like the holistic
yeah, holistic
tinctures or
stuff.
things like that.
Yes,
Something that's
exact.
more pure, that's not diluted through because of the way that things are being
Yes,
produced. Yeah.
exactly, like you can go to the people, they are like, how can I say it, folk people, they can make those healing processes, for example, in North America, they are, most of them are
Herbalists and holistic doctors.
native Americans, for example.
Hmm.
So true stuff, like natural stuff, but they can make it concentrate, because you need to eat like crazy amounts of fruits and vegetables, and it will be not still not enough, I mean
Yeah.
doses.
Well, that people do juice too. Some people juice, so you get a lot of vitamins
Yes,
that
you
way
are
as well.
right, but I'm talking about that kind of crazy amounts,
Yep.
in order, right, to stay protected. I mean, your body, your organisms need to still be protected. So those people, do you know what I mean, like you go to them, and for example, once you was hurt your leg, or arm was broken, and nah, I don't want to do this in normal doctor. Just go ahead and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like this folk healer. Most of my friends from North America, they are going regularly in to Native Americans in Europe. There are those, we are calling them shamans. Do you know what I mean? Those people, they are like respected in
Yeah.
communities.
I mean,
Which,
we have lots of holistic doctors that are not native, but they've studied herbs, maybe even from China or from other
what is this word?
holistic, H
Holistic. Yep,
holistic.
yep.
Yeah. It's they're just like naturalist, naturopath. There's a lot of different words for them, and they have studied just the natural herbal process.
This is
Yeah.
exactly it, because they are able, those holistic doctors are able to make you extremely strong extract, but pure natural stuff. Non,
Right.
like chemical stuff. No. So just drink it or do something like that. Especially, I mean, all the vitamins are good, but especially C and D are vitamins are most important. As I said, all are good. Once again, natural
This
form.
is all preventative measures to keep yourself strong. And then
Yeah.
also the chocolate also deals with the nano femtotech.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
it
true.
seems to help eliminate. So you want to eliminate and purge your system,
Yeah.
detoxing and all sorts of stuff
Many people
as
don't
well.
believe it. Many people don't believe it, but it works. It works. But the stuff is that those vitamins can work like that in 1 maybe 2 days at the most. But the stuff what I am talking about, the chocolate and the tea, it take time to start to work, and those processes you need to do it continuously, without and regularly, without interruption, because then it's worth for nothing. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
So that's the stuff. And we've got, quite interesting topics to talk. So
We can move on
Jessica,
with that. Yep.
Jessica, just pick pick the next one.
Okay, so
Pick
let
the
me
next
let
one.
me just finish up this topic here. So, I mean, this is the other issue is the vaccine, because the vaccine then directly injects all sorts of stuff, and so we want to protect ourselves from that as well. But they're already talking. This is science business. Peter just brought up January 14th, 2021, and brings up the COVID 21. Vaccine manufacturer says it can handle escape mutant. That means that any kind of mutations that occur during this process, they're claiming that their magical vaccine is going to help it. So, and that they can deal with anything possible. But here's they are bringing up that it is out there, and like Peter says that it was already released in England, and
Yeah. Yes.
But they didn't tell anybody.
Of course they don't.
Not. No, because what are they going to say? But there was, a very serious. You could see there's a lot of activity there, and it's interesting because there's a lot of people that represent the UK in this, in this, truth movement, and it's weird that none of them talk about what's going on over there, because it's a lot of the people are suffering. And I have talked to quite a few people in England, but those people seem to be very focused on the U.S. So they said the U.S. is going to correct what's going on in the U.K. I think it's the other way around, because the Shaw House is coming from the U.K.
Jeez.
So
don't even mention them. Jeez.
I know. Well, we are going to talk about them, but anyhow,
Yeah,
these are some of the things.
Sorry, but I need, please go back, please. Would you be so kind? Because this is important. Look at that. All the people you are seeing that this. It's science business. It is not some sort of, how can I say it? Conspiracy conspiracy theorist like media stuff, alternative media. This is serious stuff.
Yep.
Is,
yeah, absolutely. Bringing
this
together
is,
industry research. This is actually coming from the companies like biotech, Moderna, and I think they mentioned Pfizer further down. And
Pfizer
where I live,
and
Pfizer is really big.
BioNTech. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Look at that. Pfizer and BioNTech.
Yep.
German BioNTech. Yes. So this is what we are talking about. This is absolutely crazy. Like, once they are saying this, I mean, publishing this loudly, to the world. Look at that. We've got this problem, or we can deal with this and that, but there can be those problems. What the heck?
Yeah,
They are
the
saying this
EU
loudly.
has what 225 million doses of CureVac mRNA vaccine. I mean it's very, very clear.
But
I mean,
this is it. M like micro, and R and I like ribonucleic acid. That means it is the how can I say it? Modifying. It's only like it is, because technically it can stands for two, micro, like small, but modifying or modified ribonucleic acid. What is crazy? Because of course the second one is correct. Modified ribonucleic acid. What in the world is that? I mean, yes, of course, it is what I said. Our DNA lineage needs to be modified, but they are doing it for bad purpose. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a crime against humanity. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so Peter, you talked about this. You contacted me, and I looked it up, and sure enough, here's a movie already that came out. I think in I think it was January. This is the official trailer. That's the COVID 21 lethal virus, and literally the people look like they're zombies. And
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I play stuff like this. Peter doesn't want me to play. I would play it and
Okay.
let people see it, but we can we'll take off the volume.
No, it was fine. Just
We if we take off the volume, then we won't get. I don't think we'll get a hit. Uh,
uh-huh. Okay.
from YouTube. So but you can kind of see this guy's walking with a rifle, and well, it looks like nobody's around. And
For
then
obvious reason. For
right
obvious reason.
then there's no warning. People start. There's no cure. Look at the stuff that they're putting. They're this is what they wanted to see happen. Remember, this is about depopulation.
Yes.
So and you know it looks like the people are going nuts. Like that looked like a zombie.
But not only zombies. They can be like extremely crazy. Not only walking, like yeah, this is like that.
Yeah, and you said that it's sort of. I mean, it looks like nuclear.
Yeah.
Or this kind of, and it's like
This is sorry. This is not for nuclear. This is for by
hazard, biohazard. Yes,
biohazard. Yeah.
correct. Yep.
But I
Thanks.
want to say, I want to correct and let me correct and let me fill in that and this is crazy that all over the world it's studied in United States, so inner soil, if you want to it is playing all the stuff so you can stop it.
Yep.
Okay. Because it studied on US and but it started like what in the world is happening, like it was the edge, I mean the last days of November, maybe start of December last year, that means 2020, this kind of activities, and then it inside the US, continental US, and it then very fast it spread it to all around the world, like globe-wise, if you want to call it that way. And which kind of activities I am talking about? Well, this is a question. Answer is very easy. The US Army started to to fell like to certain fractions. It's like a militia, whatever, like that. But this is the problem. The warheads, that's the stuff. They completely get rid of atomic warheads, and they instead of them, right? Uh, they change them, and how can I say that? Like you know, um, aimed them with biochemical, or replaced them by biochemical AI warfare. This is crazy. What do you think? Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're saying, all right, sure, we'll get rid of the nukes. We don't need that because we're just going to go into biochemical warfare, and there is
Biochemical AI warfare.
AI warfare, and that we don't have a UN agreement that we're not allowed to put this out there, or it's not as enforced. So
Yes, because technically, what is it? Because technically, A bomb, I mean like atomic bombs or H bombs, hydrogen bombs, it's a problem. But once you, because once it will be chemical weapons, or uh, or mm, chemical weapon, either chemical weapons or biological weapons. Problem. But no, is there any? Is there or was there mentioned something like biochemical weapons? Do you know what I'm trying to say? All of those UN deals and all kind of like that. No, nowhere,
No,
nothing.
you know why? I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious because the H bomb destroys the actual fabric of our reality. You know, it destroys the planet and the air quality and everything, whereas the biochemical weapons will only target humans or some living, you know, maybe some
Yeah,
animals. And
Jessica, I completely agree with you. But once again, here, this very how can I say it, and be concentrated. Biological weapons, no, there is no big no. Chemical weapons, big no. But biochemical weapons, no, they are not mentioned. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's their deal. That's, I mean, how can I say it? The gap. This is the stuff what they are misusing. Do you know what I mean? And this, especially involvement of AI, biochemical AI warfare. No, there is no involve. They are not on the, let's call them, ban list or blacklist. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's crazy.
we'll see if anything comes up here. AI warning,
I
terrifying
mean,
future of lethal advanced AI.
but this is it. Give me a second. AI, it is true, AI, but not how can I say it? Make them together with biological and chemical warfare into three in one, if you want to call it that way. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Right, even just the two is a huge problem, but now we've got three in one, like you said.
Yep,
So
yep.
you're combining all of these terrible things.
This is
Um,
it, and they are misusing the gap in the rules. Do you know what I mean? They are misusing it. This is it. What I'm saying. This is it. It is.
I want to get back to this trailer because this movie in particular brings up something that's interesting. The climate change, supposedly, you know, our big climate change that everyone's talking about, has released an ancient rabies virus trapped in the Antarctica ice. A female scientist tries to get to the laboratory to create a cure to save the world, protected by an eccentric and two members of a special forces. So the military and the scientist comes up, but the whole thing of Antarctica. Here we're getting back to this Nazi reality that is in Antarctica, and then there's this
Yeah.
virus. Everything starts to melt, and I have read articles about this in some of my earlier shows about how things are melting there and what we're going to be exposed to. And you had confirmed to me earlier that this virus is coming from
Yeah.
Antarctica.
That's true. Yeah.
And there's some
Yeah.
massive, I think it was a flooding or something going on in Chile, which is not that far from there. And I have a friend that has some strong memories of things that had happened in Chile in his earlier years regarding his interaction with some of the Nazis that were had lived there and were kind of controlling the area. So did they? Was this part of this like Nordic agenda, Something like that.
Yeah,
It was a
that's
Fourth Reich
true.
agenda to bring this
Third,
forth. So
third or fifth, then actually be if
third or
you.
fifth. But this is not the good ones that are coming. They're emerging with us. This is the
Yeah,
bad ones.
definitely. No, definitely. You
These
are
are the
right.
bad ones that we're having problems with still. That are,
Yep.
but it's still in cooperation with the umbrella corporation as well.
Yeah, of course you are right.
All right, because they're the ones that actually mix it and kind of disperse it, and then through the Shaw House, then they unleashed it through the UK.
Yep. Yeah, of course, because technically Show House is ruling UK and through
The Commonwealth,
UK the whole Commonwealth. Yeah,
which is
you
all
are
those
right.
nations,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And they want
Canada,
because they how can I say it correctly? They are controlling via Commonwealth. They are controlling the whole Canada, and they want desperately want to go to Mexico, but there is just a little bit problem, and quote unquote little problem is US. So they want to rule the US. That's the stuff.
they need to rule the U.S. to in order to get all of South America, probably what they want as well, right? Not just Mexico, I
Yes,
imagine.
you are right. But I mean, Mexico is first step.
Yeah,
Is first step.
yeah,
Yep.
and they'll make it look appealing. That hey, we'll make you more powerful. We'll help your city. We'll do something, and
Yes, of
yeah,
course. It's the same stuff as fake thing with drug cartel, drug barons. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
The same stuff. Absolutely the same stuff.
Well,
Yep.
this we're gonna get back to. Someone brought up an article to me, and some. I think Rolf even actually brought this up about this switch over of power in the U.S. And this is a pivotal time when we see a very strange switch over during the time of the Civil War in the U.S. because we're talking about a second Civil War. And according to some, Ulysses S. Grant, at that time, the U.S. Sold the power of the Republic over to the UK. That's what some people are saying.
But
And
that's true. That's true, actually. Yeah.
right, and you were bringing up around 1876, and we look at it, and here it is. Ulysses S. Grant represented the North, and they won the war. The North won the war over the South, and so by selection, then of course the ruler of the military becomes the next president.
Yep.
And so the next president then apparently somehow turns it over to become part of, in some hidden way, the hidden to the public, the part of the
Yes.
Commonwealth. And I brought up this before, and Peter, we talked about this. This is Biden's past life, and
Yes, that's true.
is Marquis de Lafayette, and you had mentioned something of that Joe Biden was, well, not Joe Biden, but you had mentioned something that this is the Civil War is not just isolated to the U.S., but to all of Europe as well.
Yes, that's true.
And in this situation, I do have a video related to this about what the Marquis de Lafayette, who was AKA Joe Biden, he was very involved, even though he wasn't a ruler, but he was from an elite family. And he was very involved. He was born of a wealthy landowner family called the Chavaniac in the province of Auvergne.
Yep.
Excuse me for people that are French. I probably didn't say that the right way, but anyhow, he created. Let's see, there was a siege of Yorktown. So there's sieges going on around the world, and his energy. You remember the memory of the individual, whoever is in power, they bring in also some of the stuff that they've had in their past life. And so here he is in this situation, and he was going back and forth between the US and Europe and kind of manipulating things, having a say in the circumstance of what was going on. in kind of stirring things up or suggesting different ideas that created this unrest. And ironically, what's really weird too is the question about who was going to be in political power at that time. He also, the United States was uncertain about whether someone should get into office, and he was involved in that. And now he's feeling the pain of that karmically, because he is having struggles getting into office, because a lot of people are angry about how this whole thing went about. But you could see he also was connected to Napoleon. There's a lot of different interesting connections. You read about this individual and you can see an interesting parallel about what was going on.
You are right.
The other thing that you mentioned, Peter, was here's another pivotal time in our history, was the Alaska Purchase. And this was the United States acquisition of Alaska from the Russian Empire. And that happened in 1867. So, what did I say? He was around, the early 1800s. And then, of course, we talk about the Civil War. So this is 1867, which was following the end of the American Civil War.
Yes,
right? So it's all right around this time period that we're still struggling over. And to expand trade into Asia, which is interesting as well.
Yes.
And then you also mentioned this, the corporation power of the Rockefeller family.
Yeah, Standard Oil, because technically most they were, Standard Oil. That means they were dealing with oil mining. Technically, there's no standard oil anymore, but they are multiple. Let's say success. How can I say that?
Successes.
Success, yes, but I mean, multiple companies, they simply are what their legacy, if you want to call it that way.
Successors.
Successors, yes, my bad. And the stuff is, like it or not, that, just by the way, many people will hate me, but this is true, that Rockefellers make huge business and huge donations to Hitler, Adolf Hitler in this reality, as individuality. And without those businesses and donations, there will be no NSDAP as a Nazi political party. And they make, how can I say it, like, they believed that eugenics, that, how can I say that, cloning people, making crazy things with people, with animals, it will be for good purpose, what was absolutely goddamn crazy, and without them, and just by the way, they were Jewish. What is like, what in the world is that? Rockefellers were Jewish.
So they were supporting Hitler this is where people get upset.
Yeah.
That the Jews are involved in actually harming the Jews.
Yes, this is crazy.
And then also, we see Soros, and you want to say Soros? He also betrayed his people.
Yes, because he's Hebrew. Right? He's Hebrew. He's Jewish, and he's doing all kind of crazy stuff. It's like, it's crazy.
Everyone needs to realize, the German people are good people. The Jewish people are good people. There's good people everywhere. The corporations, the elite are the ones that are playing all of us.
Yes, they are bad. Corporations and elites are bad, and they are, as you said, playing us. They are tricking us, and corporations will win all the time, and we will lose all the time once we will not merge together and start to think together for good purpose. That's the stuff.
Yeah, humanity needs to see the average person from each part of the world as a similar type of not, I don't want to say victim because it's disempowering, but those that are targeted to be enslaved, and that it is the elite, and many of them, they don't care, they're coming from, whatever genetics, because it's just a body to them,
Yep.
they'll use whatever body that they use. These are astral beings stepping into a body, and then
Misusing from my point of view.
misusing, yeah, and targeting the common human, and doing whatever that they need to do to advance, and looshing and taking in ways that we can't even imagine. So, and also we're
and
kind
it
of
is disgusting.
lab
It
rat.
is disgusting.
Yeah.
It is disgusting.
Well, this is my labs, all this stuff, everything is a big experiment to them, because they're disengaged, because they're not human. And this is a struggle that we're going through, especially.
There is no compassion. There is no compassion. They don't see humans as humans. For them, we are, I don't want to say we, but the people they are involved in those experiments, they are just subjects. Like, no names. Just like,
yeah.
It's like, do you know what I mean? Like some sort of numerical or alphanumerical strings, and it's like test subject. But no.
This is what we're, the ACIO has been very clear about, identifying ET species and races, and having a better understanding about what's going on in our world, because we're so focused in seeing everyone as human, and because it all looks the same. Of course, they're not going to show up looking the way that they actually look like, or else we would immediately have an aversion to them. No one would be enamored and want to have sex with them like they do now.
Yeah.
Because they put themselves in attractive bodies, and people wouldn't be having.
Sorry for interrupting you, but you say this multiple times, quotes in quotes, off air, that they are on purpose choosing that kind of physical attractive bodies, no matter if male or female, that they can attract both sexes, as you said, just by the way.
They do, yeah. When you're very attractive, you can attract both sexes, especially if it's an entity.
Yeah.
And an entity can seduce in ways that are, unexplainable.
Yeah.
And I've interacted with some of these, and not just in like in a physical form, where there's a lot of trickery, and you can actually feel like, they know how to talk to a person, they know how to suggest certain things. They can appeal to the desires and needs, because they have an understanding of reading your mind and your dreams and your conscience. And so they can kind of manipulate all that. They also can do that on a mass level, saying, appealing to what they feel that people should have, or have power, even though nobody else wants them around, they can still be in power, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's...
And one thing, what should we say? It is not for people from another parts of world, maybe countries. For example, if you are upset or angry about or for US, no, don't be, because a US army or military or whatever, it is not government, those are elites. If you are feeling the same way at the Russians, at Chinese, no, those are not common people living in Russia or in China. In most of them are innocent people, exactly the same way that is it in United States. So don't blame common people. Those are only elites, and our ultimate goal, common, that means like, mutual goal, is to get rid of elites and to free ourselves from them, because they are misusing us, literally. They are parasiting on us.
Yeah, I mean, we work daily on I could say on on my own personal level. People don't hear from me constantly. I'm not out there, but I'm always working. But when I wake up in the morning and when I go to sleep, if I see anything that doesn't look right in my third eye, I definitely do something about it right away. And I think many others are doing the same. And Peter's been struggling very much so with the Shaw House in particular has been targeting him. I had a
That's
weird
crazy.
dream.
That's
I,
crazy.
and people don't understand that your battle with them is critical because they want to take over everything, and we don't want you're having a firsthand confrontation, like as a military, like a super
Yes.
soldier, and they come in a form of a female, but they're extremely powerful. So we know that it's an entity.
Yes, it is like, what in the world? I don't want to, let's say, humiliate women or something like that, but once someone is like 1 meter 70 centimeters tall, do you know what I'm trying to say? Or let's say like what, 5'6" or something like that,
Hmm.
in feet, and like what, like 100, uh, what is it, 100 pounds, maybe something like that, maybe slightly over, like 50 kilos or so, and 3 or 5 huge man, I mean, like, goddamn physically strong, and she can fight like a nothing, and I mean like nothing, like a what, like a piece of cake. I mean, no, this is not okay. Something is how can I say it, isn't right here, and that's the stuff. It's, immediately once you will face something like that, something is terribly wrong. It is not right.
Absolutely. And when that's the type of stuff that we're dealing with. I had I'll tell you, Peter, last night I had a dream, and Elon Musk was in my dream. So you tell me,
Why am I not surprised?
yeah, yeah, and I've had
Because
points
he
where
is bad. He's bad.
same with Bill Gates. There was a while there where I just like look at my third eye, and he's there
I,
looking at
I
me.
will say you. I will
Like,
say you. This guy is bad. He's almost like making like himself like a savior. I am making electric cars, all kind of that stuff, like this. What is this tunnel?
yeah,
Do you
the
know what?
tunnel over in by Nevada, in
Yes, but I'm
Las
talking
Vegas.
about those tunnels. You know, underground tunnels with uh, no air. Do you know what I mean? And though you are, or you can get crazy amounts of yeah, it is like goddamn fast. Yep, loop tunnels. Yeah, 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 yeah. And the stuff is he's one of the largest U.S. Military contractors, and nobody wants to talk about that. It's
This poor
crazy.
boring corporation. Yeah, a lot. We've
Yeah,
talked about this before. Yeah. And
I'm just
I
saying.
don't
I'm
know
just
what he was
saying.
doing in my dream. I just they are not human. That's all I'm going to say. They're not human,
Nope,
and they're
they're
here
not.
for some kind of agenda. We've always had rogue entities here trying to do things, and then there's these groups that show up that like to
Yeah,
bring in the apocalypse every 100 years or so. Um, but
you are right.
yeah, it's the same groups. They keep coming back, right? They showed up around the time of Christ. They show up again, during the mud flood periods. I don't know, probably the time of the Black Plague. When they try
Yeah,
to do a depopulation thing under the guise of a savior and rapture or whatever. I don't know. people are going to get angry that I'm saying this, but it's kind of something that's a trend that they do. And I don't know, Peter, are they trying to just depopulate and get
Yeah.
rid of populations, or they're angry at certain groups of
No,
people?
they are simply trying to do the stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, to do the stuff. That means making experiments. Making experiments.
Yeah, there's mud floods, mud flood. I don't know. That's what I'm looking for here. But yeah, oh yeah, that was it. Okay. So, you can see that different time periods where whole cities were buried underground and they were destroyed. And you can see, underneath, um, like a city underneath a city
Yeah.
kind of thing. And that's, they wipe out a civilization, and then, they leave. They're fulfilled with whatever goal that they had. And they say, the end is near, you're going to everyone's going to die. And this has been going on for many years. I don't know how many
Yeah.
years, but anyhow, okay. So Peter, the other thing that you said was, because usually everyone says, well, this is biblical, everything's going to happen. When they say it's biblical, that means that it's apocalyptic, it's end times, and like, a handful of people are going to be saved. So that's why anytime I hear that, I'm like, oh, okay, I understand which group you're coming from. And,
Yeah.
so that then I get, like, all right, so we understand that this is their part of the depopulation group or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, they claim to be the good ones, but I don't understand then why are they supporting the apocalyptic or end times situation. And some people, I think, don't realize what they're actually doing. But, saying, all these people need to be wiped out or whatever. I mean, that's,
Yep. Goddamn
that
right.
each soul has a purpose and value, and nothing good would ever condone something like this. Depopulation is definitely not from the higher realm of existence, the
Nope.
God source, or the Intergalactic Council does not support that, to my understanding. So, or the Council of Five does not support it.
Yep. So I think that we pretty much how can I say that, covered what we need to cover. What do you think?
Well, the only thing you said was because we were talking again about the Cold War a bit, and you said maybe it's not exactly this Call of Duty version, but getting back to why we talk about the Call of Duty is because of that the Cold War, they keep on wanting to revisit it, similar to wanting to revisit the Civil
Yep.
War. And so just if there's anything, you said that there's going to be because of the COVID 21, which adds more AI and more mind control or
Yes, exactly. And that's the
manipulation.
stuff. And that's the stuff it creates. Not, let's say, this or this. How can I say, disorganization? Not chaos. It causes mayhem. It causes mayhem, and that's the problem. It's crazy, and it started in US and it will spread shortly all around the globe, all around the world.
Okay, so and the last part that I want to bring up, Peter, is and we're going to fill in. We are identifying the Shaw House and some of the bodies that they are using, right? Can we
Yep.
put it that way? That right? So we're not saying, oh yes, celebrities are evil, which some of them may be. That's how they got there. But
Do you
um,
know what I think? Show how special next. It should be the next time.
okay,
So I think it is good for now. What do you
it's
think?
good for now. So we don't get into that part. All right. So this is the special report for today regarding Peter the Insider disclosures and the ACIO. And so try to get everyone updated. Please stay strong, everyone. We want to wipe out any type of fears or worries. Information should not bring in fear. It should bring in strength of knowledge. And then you have an action plan of how to take care of yourself and what to do. Um, one last thing, Peter, and I know everyone's upset about this. They're really starting to force vaccines. Any suggestion for people that are being forced to take a vaccine?
Forced?
Forced, like in other words, people that are elderly. People in some countries, if you're elderly, you automatically are on the list. People that
Do you
are...
know what? There are multiple ways how to get that, because technically in multiple countries are doctors going to the people, and if you know the specific doctor, they don't need to vaccinate you.
I think, well, like there was one person in the UK who contacted me and said that he is under kind of like that low income level where he depends on the government to give him money. And he relies on, it's kind of like a low income bracket or disabled or disability or something. And so because of that, in order to get your money, they're requiring people to get vaccinated. What should those people do?
As I said, to contact the doctors, they know that they will not do it. They will make, how can I say, like, okay, he is or she is vaccinated, but they will not do it physically. I know many doctors, they are doing it all around the world.
Okay, see, I need to find a doctor that would put themselves in a situation maybe that could be illegal.
No, it is not like that. It is not illegal, because there are always the ways how to get through over this situation. Do you know what I'm trying?
What about people that are traveling? They may be forcing that as well. Like if you want to travel.
That will be another problem. That will be another problem. But let's say about this next time.
Okay. All right, Peter. Well, thank you. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We're on your side. We're doing the best we can to get the information out. So thank you, Peter, very much for your time. And we want to get this information out right away.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you.